identification numbers. Go to the main entryway to claim your prize.
So we're going to set them up once again. It'll be 3 laps to go in this B main for the crate sprints. Laps are winding down. It'll be white flag this time at a turn number 4, I believe. No, I'm wrong.
Donald Staley still the top 2 to make it into tonight's A main for the Strickland Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprint Car Division. Kyle McKenzie will put up the popsicle 6 this time by.
Staley doing a great job in that 50. The pressure is on in a race like this where you have to perform. As I say that, Staley got wicked loose in turn 1, but Brandon Merle not able to close in.
Down the backstretch for the final time, Jesse McDonald leads over Adrian Staley. As we work it off a corner 4, checkers out. McDonald will pick up the win. Staley will also go to the A main. Brandon Merle, Darren Dryden, and Trevor Young will be done for the evening. So that concludes qualifying for the Strickland Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprint Car Division. We'll do the lucky program prize draw really quick here. So get your programs out. You can claim your prizes down to the base of the flag stand.
Good evening, race fans. Welcome to Ohsweken Speedway and All North Racing powered by Pinty's. It is championship night at the Big O. I'm Adam Ross. Joining me is Greg Callan. Clinton Jeffrey is trackside, and Greg, the season has built up to this point. The next 2 weeks here at Ohsweken, huge weeks. Tonight, of course, we crown our track champions. Next week with the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, a lot of money's being thrown around here in these 2 weeks. Tonight it's championship checks. Next week it's going to be the big checks for the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals. So a lot of excitement, and that brings out the best in all of these racers. Going to be an exciting night here as 3 of the 4 divisions here this evening, they're not even decided yet. We have no idea who's going to be the champ.
In the sprint cars, our premier division, the Core Pack Merchandising, Cool Kids, Water, Sprint Cars, Dylan Westbrook, looking to be the first 3-time champion since Glenn Stiers did it 15 years ago. He has a 2-point lead over Mac DeMann. Corey Turner still mathematically involved in that championship. He's going to need a little bit of help.
Yeah, and then you look at the Crate Sprint Car Division. How about 14-year-old Nick Sheridan leading the way, 12 points over Lucas Smith. And Jesse Costu was the point leader for much of the season. He's still in there, but he's got a little bit of work to do. He's 26 points back.
Yeah, he needs some help as well. Of course, in the Thunder Cars, Dave Bailey, an unprecedented 5th consecutive Thunderstock championship. And in the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks, we're about to see their B main, Greg, but this is going to be a lot of fun. Coming into tonight, a dead heat between Kyle Wirt and Dusty DeBoer. So the 19 and the 23 are tied. And how about the youngster Tristan Da Silva in the 0-1? Again, mathematically still very much alive should anything happen to that top 2.
It's going to be an interesting night tonight for sure for all of these drivers. And earlier on, we had a chance to talk to some of the different championship contenders.
They're going to take consistency because we are in the lead in the points right now. So as long as we get a good up-top finish tonight, we don't have to win. Just got to finish ahead of the other competitors.
To win the championship tonight, it's going to take a lot of luck. some really good setup and maybe some misfortune to some others. But hate to be like that, but it is what it is.
We're going to have everything go right. Starts with the pill draw. Luckily, that is going a lot better than last week. We're going to have some other people have a little worse luck than us because we got a long way to go after our problems last week. So we got to have a really good night, keep an eye on the track, make sure our car's set up good, and see how the cards fall after that.
Just consistency. Pretend it's another night of racing. Unload the same way we unload. We brought a good car, and just check every nut and bolt and get her done on the track.
We went through a car a whole lot during the week, so hopefully I have no mechanical failures. Just hit my line every time I'm out there, and I have a little bit of luck too. That's always a part of racing.
We're going to need to have a fast car. We got our Petro Plus gas station car out tonight, so new ride for us, and just going to have to be fast in the heat race, fast in the feature, and get a little luck on our side.
In order for me to win the championship tonight, I just need to keep doing what I've been doing every week, keeping the car flawless. Just had to change tires coming in, and that's about it. Everyone else I've been up against so far have come in with problems. Just got to keep going green, keep it clean, and finish the race.
Hopefully we get some good luck and we don't wreck the car, and we just got to beat Dusty and Tristan, and hopefully we can lock her in, but it'll be a fight for sure.
I think it depends on what Kyle does. I think everybody expects him to win, even though we're tied. He's going to start ahead of me. He's been faster all year, and it depends if he drives trying not to lose or trying to win. I think that's going to make the difference, and I've just got to take advantage if he does make a mistake, and be there at the end.
A lot of calm faces for some of these drivers racing for the points titles here tonight, but I think the butterflies are about to set in. We're about to see the B main for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks when we return on All North Racing, powered by Pinty's. Powered by Pinty's at Ohsweken Speedway here on Epic Racewear Championship Night. My name is Greg Kellman. With me here in the towers, Adam Ross. Joining us down trackside is Clinton Jeffrey as we get ready for the last chance qualifier for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. This is how they'll line up for the last chance dance, going from the pole out of Hagersville in the 16J. That'll be Jeremy May. And going from the second spot from Caledonia, the 517 is Cody Somerville. Going from third out of Hamilton, the 96, Brian Crosgrove. And from the fourth spot from Dunnville, the 16T is Jason Thompson. Starting in position number 5 out of Simcoe, the 5, that'll be Rick Robinson. And going from 6th from Caledonia, the 265, Mike Evers. Rolling off 7th from Waterford in the 46, Wade Thorne. And starting in 8th out of Dundas, the 21 of Jonathan Ayrton. And going from 9th from Port Colborne, the 14L, is John Lubeck. Now, Last chance to get into the A main, and two names that really stand out to me, Adam. Wade Thorne, Jonathan Ayrton, they're the two most recent feature winners here in this division.
That's the beauty of Ohsweken Speedway and the beauty of motorsports. It's a humbling sport, Greg, and they've had their struggles earlier on tonight. So they will hope for better things as Jason Thompson getting a push up there through 3 and 4. That car not coming to life when the field rolled to start this B-main event, so looks like Thompson may be pushed all the way back to the pits, and his night could be over prematurely.
So Jeremy May and Cody Somerville will bring us to the green flag once the field is set. White flag will be displayed this time around by starter Kyle McKenzie.
I can overhear Doug Leonard in the officials room next door just going to town on the radio. Something is gone down. Something or someone is not ready for things to proceed here, and he is saying quite emphatically that they need to get rolling.
Well, what's going on, Adam, is we want to keep the program waiting. You know how valuable everybody's time is here. Every second, we don't like to waste even one. And with the crates not having a lot of B mains between their B main and their A main, they're being told very distinctly that they have 5 minutes before their feature is going to start, and we will start without them if they're not on the line. We will not be waiting for anybody today because we've got tons of viewers watching on our simulcast here on MAV TV Canada and, of course, around the world. So we want to welcome all here. We want to save every second. We will not wait for the crates. Get ready, guys. We're coming back to it.
Well, they'll get a little bit of extra time here as Jeremy May's season continues to get worse. The 16J coming to a stop down the inside of corner number 2, and he will get the push back to the pit area, so will not be able to start this last chance qualifier.
And Clinton, everything is measured. Everything about the program is done for a reason, right down to the Thunderstocks being the final feature of the night. That was the one division where the championship had already been decided. So basically, when deciding the race order for this week, put the Thunderstocks last. Should weather roll in, should something happen to shorten the program, at least that gives a chance of not affecting a championship that has a tight battle. So everything about the program is done for a reason.
Yeah, and to save every possible second we can to give the race teams enough time to get ready. But with not needing a 360, a Thunderstock B main, that left two big gaps between when the crates had their B main and their normal feature time, and really accordioned that up to shorten up that time zone for them to get ready. So they've been told over there, and it is a lot of coordination to take our live program and meet the demands of live television, and we pretty much got her down now.
I find you very demanding myself, Clinton.
Well, do your job and you won't ever hear from me.
There you go. You haven't been over here in the tower tonight. It's been great.
Green flag out here in the Consi for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. Rick Robinson and Cody Somerville were up there in the front row, but look at the last 2 weeks' winners. They're spreading on the inside and outside. The 46 of Wade Thorne, the 21 of Jonathan Ayrton, they go to the top 2 spots very quickly.
And if you remember, the 265 of Mike Evers, he was real quick in one of our recent features. I can't remember if it was last week or the week before, but he led a bunch of laps before something went amiss on the race car, and things didn't turn out the way he wanted them to.
Thorne and Ayrton 1 and 2 with Evers back there in the 3rd spot. Rick Robinson now into the 4th position. And John Lubeck back there in position 5, the 14L. Cross flags in the air for Wade Thorne and Jonathan Ayrton.
And they're building up a gap between themselves and Mike Evers in the 265. Jonathan Ayrton closing in on the 46 of Thorne. And I've got to say, Greg, in my opinion, this is like a feature event track. This track is slicked over to the point that we would normally see towards the end of a race night, unless I'm seeing things differently than you are.
No, it looks exactly like that. So I think for some of these drivers here in the B main, they're going to get a better look than some of these guys that haven't run since early on in the night. Remember, the mini stocks were the division that got us going. So that was back at 7:30. Well, they were the second in the order tonight, but still the track was definitely different. So these B main drivers and in Wade Thorne and Jonathan Ayrton, obviously two drivers that can get it done. So they got some valuable track time there.
They did so, and we can see the push vehicles up off the back straightaway up in turn number 3. They are all lined up and ready to go, so I believe the crate sprints, sponsored by Strickland's GMC, are just about ready to roll onto the racetrack.
Final points night of the year for the Strickland Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprint Car Division. Nick Sheridan, 14 years old, at Mount Bridges, comes in with 3 wins, 9 top 5s, 10 top 10s, and he leads by 12 points over Lucas Smith, who is out of Brantford, Ontario, who is now a veteran of this division, and Jesse Costa out of St. Thomas, who led for a majority of this season in that 52 machine, 3 wins this year. It's going to be a fight here, 20 laps the distance to decide.
And I'm going to put you on the spot if you don't mind, Greg. Do you know the point structure that we race with? I know you've got everything on your computer there. So
yes,
if you can pull that up so we can crunch numbers as the race goes on, I'll tell you how they're going to line up for this feature event. On the pole out of Vanessa, the Oakwood Transport, number 4, it's the Hurricane Hannah Farrell. On the outside out of St. Thomas, number 52 is Jesse Costa. Row 2 on the inside from Ancaster, the 26X is Terry Baker, and alongside him from Mount Bridges, the 45 is Nick Sheridan. Starting 5th from Stony Creek, the 24A is AJ Lewis, and starting 6th from Port Colborne, the 5D is Jacob Dykstra. Starting 7th out of Brantford, the 49L is Lucas Smith. Starting in 8th from Hagersville, the 49H is Jerry Hill. Starting 9th from Hamilton, the 56 is Derek Lemaire, and rounding out the top 10 in the number 20, the Iceman from Six Nations, Johnny Miller. Starting 11th out of Ohsweken, the 9C is Brian Nanakoke. Starting 12th from Kitchener, the 39 is Shane Stickle. Starting 13th out of Waterloo, the 19D is Alan Downey, and starting 14th from Rockwood, the 74 radio shuttle entry is Rob Neely. Starting 15th from Bimbrook, the 29 is Liam Martin. Starting 16th from Niagara Falls, the 70 is Bailey Hurd. Starting 17th from Hagersville, the MK8 is Matthew Hill. Starting 18th from Waterdown, the 5C is Connor Mahoney. Starting 19th from Ohsweken, the 28 is Jordan Hill. And starting 20th from Ohsweken, the 69 is Josh Hill. In 21st from Font Hill, the 08 is Stephen Beckett. Starting 22nd from Caledonia, the 88, Jesse McDonald. Starting 23rd from Thamesford, the 14 is Eric Gledhill. And rounding out the field from Kitchener, the 50 LS, it's Adrian Staley. And I want to give a congratulations, Greg, to the 49L of Lucas Smith, the only driver to have taken the green flag in each one of our feature events this season. Hats off to you, to the driver, the Massage Pro, number 49L.
I never would have imagined it'd be one driver.
No.
When you brought that up at the start of the year, I thought there'd be multiple, but pretty impressive.
Week after week, it trimmed down, fewer and fewer. There are 2 drivers who qualified for every feature event. The 49L of Lucas Smith, the 52 of Jesse Costa, but Jesse Costa failed to start one of the features he qualified for. So Lucas Smith just gave the thumbs up. We give the thumbs up right back. Good job, Lucas Smith.
Adam, you asked about the point structure. It is the same between the 360s and the crate sprint cars, and it's very simple how it works. If you win the race, you get 85 points. Second place is 4 points back. You get 81. Back to third is a 3-point difference from second to third, so it's 78. From third back to 24th, a position is 2 points.
So if Nick Sheridan finishes in the top 3, he wins.
Yes.
So that'll be the first and easiest way that we'll determine this, is we're getting a great look at the starting grid rolling alongside one of our safety vehicles out there on the racetrack. White flag, Kyle McKenzie says we're going to let you loose in one more lap. The Hurricane Hannah Farrell, she won her qualifying heat. She is still looking for feature win number 1. Could this be the night?
It all comes down to this, the championship on the line for the Strickland Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprint Car Division. You got to bet the butterflies are buzzing around inside now.
Double green flags in the air. We are underway with the Strickland's GMC Crate Sprint feature event.
Bold move right off the bat by Nick Sheridan. Dropped down to the inside lane in that third position, trying to track down Jesse Costa and Hannah Farrell. He's right now where he wants to be, coming down to complete lap 1.
First lap clean and green. We've got one up off the racetrack. I believe that's Adrian Staley at the tail end of the field. He will gather it up and keep on going.
Here comes Sheridan as Johnny Miller has problems mid-pack, drops back a few positions, get the car back up to speed. Top 3, it's Hannah Farrell, Jesse Costa, Nick Sheridan. Then you've got Jacob Dykstra back there in 4th. And how about A.J. Lewis up there inside the top 5?
Yeah, A.J. Lewis having a great run in that Insta Panels number 24A. That's Lucas Smith right behind him. So all the players in the championship, our 3 contenders, are in the top 6 already.
Hannah Farrell has been on fire as of late. She's been on the podium the last couple of weeks. She did have the rule infraction that bumped her off the podium in one of those races, but she's proved that she belongs up here in front. She's come oh so close in the past. Does not yet have that win. She's on track for it right now.
Jacob Dykstra makes a pass on Nick Sheridan for the 3rd spot. Sheridan back to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll try to take it back, but no, Jacob Dykstra has the spot at the line.
They work down the backstretch. The leader's already seeing lap traffic in front in that first lap car. That's going to be Jesse McDonald. I talked to him at the start of the night. He said, just can't wait for this season to get over. It started out good for the driver of the 88, but didn't end so well.
He had some hard crashes along the way, and I know they affected him. He was a hurting unit for a little bit of this season. Is right in front of Hannah Farrell. McDonald shoots to the outside of the racetrack.
Farrell leads it down across the stripe, and now we'll have Johnny Miller right in her sights as Jesse Costa has gotten by the 88 of Jesse McDonald, and now Nick Sheridan feeling some pressure from Jacob Dykstra. Sheridan sits in 3rd. He's got Dykstra and Smith right behind him. Smith knows he needs to get by that 45.
It's an important pass for Lucas Smith in that 49 machine as he heads to the outside of the racetrack. Hannah Farrell gets bottled up behind Johnny Miller. Here comes Jesse Costa.
Yeah, that cost her a lot as Jesse Costa's right there in the back. Nerf bar. Costa slings around the outside of Miller. Down into corner 1 they go with Hannah Farrell thick in traffic. Costa there loses a little ground in corner 2, and Nick Sheridan begins to reel the top 2 in.
Lucas Smith just tried to put a move on Jacob Dykstra. He really got crossed up there in turn number 2, had to check up. Now we'll make a move on Nick Sheridan. Slide job. Sheridan having some handling issues in that 45.
He said it is what it is in his interview at the start of the night, and that pass just said it all. He knew he had to get by. He works by Sheridan, shuts the door as out in front. Farrell leads over Costa, Dykstra, now Smith and Sheridan back to 5th.
Clean and green we've been since the drop of the green flag. Hannah Farrell to the inside of Adrian Staley. She's working the bottom of the racetrack. 8 laps to go. Jesse Costa not too far behind, working the outside.
Wow, Farrell really got bottled up behind Shane Stickle and Adrian Staley. Here comes Costa around the outside, shoots by Stickle. He's there within a car length now in corner 3.
Costa up on the outside. Hannah Farrell gingerly working the inside of the racetrack. That requires a lot of throttle control, Greg. Farrell still on the bottom. Here comes Costa down the back straightaway for the lead.
He gets it going into corner number 3. They stay wheel to wheel now. Going up on the high side of 4 is Costa. Working it off the corner of the stripe. Jesse Costa to the point.
6 laps remain in this feature event. Jacob Dykstra starting to close in as well. Lucas Smith driving away from Nick Sheridan. A couple of drivers out here could really benefit from a yellow flag, but nothing doing right now as Johnny Miller takes his number 20 to the pits.
So Jesse Costa sitting out in front. The Hurricane Hannah Farrell not going away. She's still right there. Jacob Dykstra rides in 3rd. Lucas Smith 4th. And Nick Sheridan comfortably right where he needs to be right now to clinch the title.
Hannah Farrell might have learned something just there. She ran the extreme bottom and got some grip in 3 and 4. Loses traction in 1 and 2, but she's closing on Costa.
Here they come. Costa up high. Farrell on the bottom. Here they come into heavy lap traffic. Costa thought about threading the needle. He'll try it again in 1. He gets by Beckett and Hurd. Now Hannah Farrell has to do the same.
Hurd's not giving up. He powers back around the outside of Costa. So he's battling for position. He's got to keep up his fight. Here goes Farrell around Costa.
What a move there by Hannah Farrell. The Oakwood Transport number 4 goes back to the top spot. She's got 3 lap cars between her and second place Jessie Costa.
Where did that move come from? Costa had been looking better and better every lap. One more lap to go for Hannah Farrell.
Looking for the first career win. She's got many in the micro sprints, but none yet in the crate sprint car division. She's been driving for Bar Motorsports now for the last couple of seasons, and right in front of her, teammate spins coming off of 4. Checkers coming out. Hannah Farrell will pick up her first career win.
Jessie Costa second, Jacob Dykstra third, Lucas Smith fourth, Nick Sheridan with his 5th place finish is your crate sprint car champion 2019. What a story, Greg. What a race.
Car owner Darren Barr had to be thinking, you can't be joking. As right in front of Hannah Farrell, Eric Gledhill spun. Hannah's teammate got the car back around, and Hannah was able to pull it out and get her first career crate sprint car win.
Jessie Costa in the 52 drove a great race. He was committed up high. That was the line that was working for him. And it was faster for most of the second half of that race, except for the times it wasn't. And Hannah Farrell was able to, the throttle control she showed on the bottom groove, that was a hard-earned victory for the driver of the Oakwood Transport, Lucas Oil, number 4.
Lone Wolf Fireworks going to help her celebrate her first career win. Clinton Jeffries going to be down there in Mr. Transmission Victory Lane to talk to our top 3 and our newly crowned champion, Nick Sheridan.
Tony Spiteri from Pinty's and the gang, they're going to head down to Victory Lane. How about a round of applause for Hannah Farrell?
Hannah Farrell over there to get a quick hug from the Bar team, and she'll work her way over here to talk to us in Mr. Transmission Victory Lane. Hannah, what a run tonight. I mean, this is how you're supposed to do it. Constantly stepping up that ladder, up the podium to where it pays off in a win. Talk about what it means here to be Mr. Transmission Victory Lane on national television tonight.
It means so much to be on Victory Lane here tonight. It was an amazing race, and we were so lucky that we got back and we got back up to the top.
Who do you want to thank for what's been an amazing end to your season, Hannah?
Yeah, it's been an amazing end to the season. I really have to thank everybody at Bar Motorsports for all they do every week. I wouldn't be here without them. All my friends and family, and all of our amazing sponsors, but it wouldn't be possible without them.
Where's my female race fans? Cheer for Hannah tonight. Adam and Greg will send it back up to you. We'll get ready with Jesse and Jacob.
Momentum is an amazing thing, Adam, and Hannah had it going into tonight. She knew what it felt like to be on the podium, and now she's at the top.
And she fought back so hard, just an unbelievable race. And Clinton Jeffries with the driver who finished second. Not sure if he'll be satisfied with that or not, but it was a whale of a show.
Jesse, safe to say last week's DNF cost you the championship here for the second year in a row. You were the leader for majority of the season. How disappointing are you?
Really disappointed, actually. 2 years in a row you lead it pretty much to the end and get it taken away, but that's racing. Sometimes you have good luck, some days bad luck. We just got all the bad bounces, I guess, this year, but congratulations to Nick. He obviously ran amazing this year. Got to thank Best Safety Training and the Vanderbeest family, Castro Canada, Leach Performance for the awesome motor, Magnum Size, D&O Towing, Wells Foundry, Ron Genitello Property Maintenance, and Welders Millwrights.
Can you take anything out of this, Jesse? A little bit of satisfaction knowing you won the race tonight. You've been fast all year for 2 years. You're the dominant car everybody's chasing. A bit of satisfaction in that?
Obviously, it's good to know that you're a front runner, but we'll just take it into next year and go from there. Hopefully we get a couple spots better.
Jesse Costa, one of the dominant cars. Jacob, you had high hopes this year. A few times here in Mr. Transmission Victory Lane on the podium. Are you all right with your season results?
I'm okay with it. We've had some pretty bad luck this year, wrecking cars, not finishing where we wanted to. But overall, I think it was a good year for everyone. great to see her get her first win, and I'd just like to thank all my sponsors, A to Z Expediting, Epic, Weldstar, Caldwell Banker, Bubbles and More, Castro, Renway, Tim's Lawn Care, and I'd like to thank all my crew, like my dad, Ryan, Brian. It's confusing. But they all set this car up amazingly. I wouldn't be here without them.
There you have it, guys. Top 3 in victory lane tonight. Hannah Farrell. And as we get set, we'll send it back up to you. We'll get ready to talk to the champion, at least unofficial champion, Nick Sheridan.
We're going to head to a quick commercial break, and on the other side, our Strickland's GMC Sprint Car champion, Nick Sheridan. Welcome back to MAV TV Canada. We are live with Nick Sheridan, the champion of the Strickland's GMC Crate Sprints with Clinton Jeffrey.
Sorry, guys, bit of technical issue there. 14-year-old Nick Sheridan, ladies and gentlemen. Nick, what a run for you, man. Just started 4 days into high school, and here you are, a champion Ohsweken. What does that mean, buddy?
Clinton, I cannot believe it. I mean, if you would have told me at the beginning of this year we'd be sitting here right now as champions, I would have believed you. I would not have believed you at all. I mean, I can't believe it. I'm almost about to cry. I mean, our team's done so well this whole year. I mean, my crew chief, Rick Bird's done everything he could, and so has my dad, and we've been mixing together really well, and we got ourselves the championship.
Congrats, Nick. We'll see you at the banquet. Here's your champion, ladies and gentlemen, Nick Sheridan, 14 years old in his rookie year. Wins the championship, gives a big hug to his dad, Ron, and his brother, Jake, is also an up-and-coming superstar on the APC series. So congrats to the Sheridan family.
We just got a nice compliment, Greg, from one of our viewers saying he's a retired TV motorsports producer from Diamond P Sports, complimenting the track and the lighting and the safety crew. But how many races did you watch on Diamond P Sports over the years? I loved their programming.
That brought back a few memories as soon as you mentioned that name.
Actually, the theme song went off in my head. I asked if we could. Actually, I did ask if we could use it for our broadcast because I just love it so much. That meant racing.
So things wrapping up down to Mr. Transmission victory lane for the Sheridan team, and we'll bring out the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks with their feature event. And this one is going to be interesting. The top two in points, tied. Dead heat, 937 points apiece. It's been two different ways of getting to the top of the pile, though. Kyle Wirt did it with wins, 5. And it seems when he didn't win, he had problems. On the other hand, Dusty DeBoer quietly has been very good, and he's just there every week. He has one feature win this year, but he's right there in the thick of it. And don't count out Tristan De Silva in that 0-1. He doesn't have a win, but he's been consistent. He's only 19 points back. Ready to go with this one. 15 laps of distance for the championship here tonight for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. Starting lineup for this one, going from the pole. It'll be Jason Tolton in the vacuum trucks, number 1 to the outside, the 177. That is Tim Jamieson. Back in row number 2, it's going to be the 360 of Kevin Thorne and the 69 of Rob Twitchett. Apologize, the two cars listed on the graphic, they're actually starting at the tail in this one. So back in row number 2, it's Kevin Thorne, Rob Twitchett. Row 3, the 54. That'll be Christopher French, and the 26 is Tim Newell. Row 4, that'll be Mike Sarantakos in the 6X, alongside Cole Hardy driving the 12 Junior tonight. In the 9th starting spot, Tim DeBoer in car number 9, alongside him, Paul Longboat in the 188. Starts in 10th, going from 11th in car 11. That's Jeff Elslager, with Fabio Oliveri to his outside, going in 12th. 13th starting position, Aiden Nye in the 88. 14th, tied for the point lead, the 19 of Kyle Wirt. Back in starting spot number 15. He's also tied for the point lead. The 23, that is Dusty DeBoer. And lining up on his outside, that'll be Chris Reichman in the 93 machine. Starting back in the 17th spot, Ryan Hiller. And the other title contender, the 0-1, that's Tristan De Silva, going from 18th. 19th starting spot, the 21 of Jonathan Ayrton, who came out of the B main, along with the 46 of Wade Thorne. And then behind them, you've got the 14L joining us tonight. That's John Lubick out of Port Colborne, and the 265 of Mike Evers. The 517, that'll be Cody Somerville. And the 5 of Rick Robinson. The 517, the 05, Dave Goodacre. The 04 of Elise Leduc in the 11. The pinball, Mike Giberson of the Strickland GMC Pace Truck pulls off on the backstretch. Jason Tolton had a rough week to get here, but he is here, and he starts from the pole alongside Tim Jamieson. Kyle McKenzie will bring us to life with the double greens.
The field rumbles into turn number 1, 5 wide through the corners. Kyle Wirt, I saw him lift a little bit. He hesitated there at one point, but a pretty good start down into 3 at the front. Who's going to lead lap number 1?
It's going to be Jason Tolton. That's got to be a good feeling after the week he has had, thinking he wouldn't even be here. Out in front, gets into Tim Jamieson, who takes a wild, hard hit into the hay bales in corner 2.
That's a holy moly moment for Tim Jamieson, who heads up there. Nothing he could do there once you get up there airborne in turn number 2. Not much he could have done to avoid those hay bales out there, hopefully. As he looks like he gets the car into reverse. Now he's in drive. He's rocking it a little bit out there. He could be hung up on something.
Gets the car back around. Oh, that's a mess on the front end of the 177 for Tim Jamieson. The left front got a ton of camber going. And it's flat.
Yeah, that's a problem. What a shame. He had so much speed in that race car, just hard racing down into turn number 1. Things not going to work out too well for Jamieson. So we have a look. Tolton, yeah, he just lost the front end of that race car. And once they made contact, Jamieson was just a passenger. Look at this from turn 2.
The one hits that ripple there. You see a lighter patch of brown in the racing surface area. He hit that ripple. It upset the car, went up into Tim Jamieson. And
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, it'd be a lighter patch of brown if I went for that ride. No, I actually won't. Now that I think of it, Greg, I won't tell you.
Jason Tolton and Kevin Thorne now will line up on the front row of the restart.
Everyone doubled up. Kevin Thorne on the inside in that Burger Barn 360. Then is the Gaylor Equipment number 16 of Fabio Oliveri. The Timson Auto number 9 of Tim DeBoer on the outside of row number 2. Kyle Ward up into the top 10. He runs in the 9th position in that green and white number 19. He is tied for the lead in the points with the white and blue number 23, just a row behind, maybe 2 rows behind on the outside. Still a lot of racing yet to come.
Green is out. Here comes Fabio Oliveri on that restart. Duck down low, trying to work to the inside of the Burger Barn 360 of Kevin Thorne. Tolton out in front, Oliveri into second. Here comes Tim DeBoer now to the inside of Kevin Thorne off of corner 2.
Dusty DeBoer didn't get a great restart. In fact, there's Tristan De Silva in the 0-1. Comes into this race third in points. As wow, Tim DeBoer piled it down into turn number 3. Without making contact, kind of rubbed Kevin Thorne out of the picture there as Fabio Oliveri into second.
Who's working his way to the top 5. Kyle Wirt right there in 6. Oh, he got into Ryan Hiller, gets the car sideways, gathers it back up, but he lets Wade Thorne get by.
Kyle Wirt doesn't look really comfortable out there right now. He might have a tire gone down. He may have bigger problems than that at the moment.
Right rear is down on the 19 of Kyle Wirt. Right front, I believe, is down as well.
Both right side tires for Wirt as he takes it up the outside of the racetrack. He is slow on the track. Will this bring a yellow from race director Doug Leonard as Wirt rolls to a stop?
He'll take another lap, and it looks like the caution flag will come out. So I believe Kyle, even if he gets it changed, he's going to be a lap down.
Fabio Oliveri in the orange number 16 with a problem. He veers off into the pits. We don't have officials' radios on, but Clinton Jeffrey does.
What's that?
You've got an official radio on. Doug Leonard, our race director, is not a big fan of drivers stopping to bring out a yellow. Not sure if that changes on championship night as Kyle Wirt, both right side tires are flat on that number 19.
I wouldn't say it changes on championship night. I would say that Kyle Wirt did a fantastic job of playing the game as it should be played there. With 2 right side tires, you have to figure the car's going to be slowed down to the point that he couldn't get. As you notice, when the yellow came out, he was still trying to move, was not just putting the car in driving, just driving away like there was never an issue. But the problem Kyle Wirt has now, guys, is he is running out of time. No guaranteed time, no courtesy laps. As soon as Doug Leonard has this lineup correct, we will go back to green flag racing, which could pose a huge problem for Kyle Wirt, who came into tonight, had bad luck about 2 weeks ago, put him in a dangerous position of losing it. And now Tolton in the number 1 heading to the pit area as well with 5 complete.
Man, oh man. And even though we can't follow what's going on back in the pits, you know that there are numerous race teams right now working on that number 19 of Kyle Wirt. Quite often these drivers don't even know who's helping them change tires. So many people come in and take part to help things out. And we will watch turn number 3. That is the entrance to the racetrack from the pits. The white flag is out. Next time out of 4, they're going to go green. We'll watch up in turn 3 to watch for Kyle Wirt's number 19 to reappear.
Now let's not forget, Kyle Wirt could have another shot here. If the yellow comes immediately out and we do not take a lap, he would still be on that lead lap. But the problem here for Wirt is time is ticking away and they are going. Now just to mention, he can come out as long as they have not completed the first lap. Even if he comes out at the tail end of it, he'll still be considered on that lead lap, guys. So he's got about 1 lap to get it together here before they complete that first lap under green.
Well, we're not convinced he didn't already lose a lap on the racetrack if they counted the lap that he did not complete with a flat tire. So there is a lot to pay attention to here as we are back under green.
And now Kevin Thorne doesn't come up to speed in the Burger Barn number 360 as he rockets through the middle of the pack. Now he seems to have it going again. And how about Tristan De Silva? He's still in the thick of this. Look at Kyle Wirt. He's back out on track. And you know what? I almost think he should have waited and joined the tail.
Well, no, because he had to get ahead of the leaders or he would have been a lap down.
I thought Clint just said he had the entire lap to join and be on the back.
He had that much time. He had another half a straightaway to get back on the racetrack, or it would have been lap down situation for him. So Kyle Wirt needs a yellow in this race to rejoin the tail of the field. Dusty DeBoer runs in the 6th spot right now in that 23.
So right now for Tristan DeSilva and Dusty DeBoer, that white and orange 0-1, that's Tristan DeSilva. He's 3rd place in points. And the point leader unofficially right now is Dusty DeBoer in the blue and white 23. Well, he's right behind the 0-1. Essentially, if they're not within the top 3, those two, Tristan DeSilva needs to be 10 spots ahead of Dusty DeBoer to have a shot at this title.
Oh, for sure. And they are halfway through 8 laps in, 7 laps to go in this mini stock feature event. We've seen them go without cautions before, Greg, but it's pretty rare. We normally get 2 or 3 yellows in these races.
Cross flags on the field as Tim DeBoer leads over Jeff Elslager and Ryan Hiller, and often on championship nights. Oh, there goes Kyle Wirt around, spins on the back stretch, trying to get it back under control, and things just have gone bad to worse. This has been his whole last 3 weeks, essentially.
It's been a time to forget for Kyle Wirt as he sits backwards on the racetrack. Doug Leonard, the race director, carefully looking over things. We are still under green at the moment. And now the yellow comes out. Just a precarious spot for Kyle Wirt to be parked in. He's motioning something inside the race car as though he may want to push in that 19 machine.
Well, I was just about to say, if he drives out of this one, he'll be in trouble.
I'll tell you, Kyle Wirt, I mean, he's good at thinking on his feet, even though he's in a seated position right now. Whether that car needs a push or not, I would be requesting a push to make it look like it needs one.
I was about to say, on a championship night, sometimes drivers that are having solid outings don't get talked about like they probably should. I think we need to talk about Jeff Elslager up there. Missed the majority of this season. He was out last year, came late to the party here this year, and he's up there running in that 2nd spot. He's been good all night.
Ryan Hiller in that 21H machine, so close to victory last Friday night. Wade Thorne just beat him out to take his first win. Ryan Hiller looking for his first. Tristan DeSilva looking for his first. Has Elslager ever won before?
No, I don't believe he has.
So 3 of our top 5 drivers have never won a feature here at Ohsweken Speedway in the mini stock division, looking to cash in for the first time in their careers.
Well, guys, is Wirt on the lead lap according to scoring? That's the question.
We don't have race monitors.
Oh, okay.
Not able to see.
For the sake of excitement, let's assume that he is on the lead lap. Down the back straightaway, Elslager on the inside. Tim DeBoer on the outside in that 9 machine, the 2nd row, as Ryan Hiller in the 21. Tristan DeSilva in the 0-1.
1 down, 1 lap down is the 19, guys. Championship has faded away.
Well, still a lot of time left to come, and it's a hornet's nest at the front of this one. Reichman and DeBoer make a little bit of contact down the front straightaway towards turn number 1.
DeBoer up on the top side, Elslager there in that 2nd position. Wade Thorne 3 wide with Ryan Hiller and Tristan DeSilva. And you said it, it's a hornet's nest right now, and if I'm Dusty DeBoer, I'm the one that's probably cringing the most because where he's at is perfect right now.
Trouble in turn number 4. We got a couple of cars around. Newell in the 26, Guyberson in the number 11. As they work down the back straightaway, Guyberson gets that car turned around. Newell, he's going to get going as well. It'll be 3 laps to go at the line.
They're still 3 wide back in that 4th position with Thorne, Hiller, and Reichman all up there in the mix. Cole Hardy having a good outing in the Kelly Motorsports 12 Junior tonight, as here comes Dusty DeBoer right up behind him.
And as hard as they're racing right in front of DeBoer, this is still anybody's championship. Tristan DeSilva might not be in such a bad spot after all, as DeBoer is really watching them make some questionable moves ahead of him.
Right now, DeSilva would need to double that gap. He's 5 spots up on Dusty DeBoer. If he could do that somehow, If Dusty begins to drop back, he's still got a shot at it. But DeBoer very patiently just riding right there in the thick of it.
Kyle Wirt right up the back end of the 23. Not sure if he knows he's a lap down or not, but he sure is giving that car a drive. White flag. Oh, and the leader loses a wheel. The leader has lost a wheel in turn 2. Here goes Tristan Da Silva.
Looking for his first career win. The green flag is out. Now they're crashing in the backstretch. Oh,
that could have been horrible. Checkered flag in the air. Tristan Da Silva out of turn number 4. He'll take the win. Alslinger second, Hardy in third. Was DeBoer in that? No, DeBoer's out there. I'm sorry. DeBoer finishes 7th unofficially. Oh, 5th on the stripe. Geez, I'm all sorts of wrong. Tristan Da Silva wins. DeBoer finishes 5th. What is that points gap, Greg?
11.
And how far was Tristan Da Silva behind?
19.
Wow! How's that for drama?
He doesn't get the title, but his first career win has got to feel just as good.
Greg, they were trying so hard to crash right in front of Dusty DeBoer. I mean, they were bouncing off each other, bouncing off the walls. Look at this replay down the backstretch after DeBoer loses a wheel. Wade Thorne gets into Ryan Hiller. I thought that wall was going to split the 21 right in half.
We've had photographers over the year argue up and down, I want to stand there. That is why we don't let them stand there.
Man, oh man. Talk about exciting.
That young man is going to be very pumped, and so is his dad.
There are places, and there were times here when the mini stocks would go on the track and people would go to the bathroom or go get a hot dog. There is not that moment anymore. These drivers race so hard, have so much fun. Clinton Jeffries in Mr. Transmission victory lane, and there's a proud father, Mark Da Silva, coming down to pound that roof of that car. He worked so hard to take his boys racing.
Mark Zuba down there from Jibs Action Sport, big supporter of Tristan. He's on the car celebrating his first win. We'll send it down to Mr. Transmission victory lane and Clinton Jeffrey.
Oh, that's awesome. Big hug from his dad, Mark Da Silva. Dusty DeBoer going to come in, give him a hug as well. Fierce competitors, but all smiles. Now Mama Da Silva coming down into victory lane. What a great moment. Clinton Jeffrey, take it away.
Thanks a lot, guys. Well, Tristan, you did what you had to do to contend for the championship. You got the win here tonight. I don't think it was by enough points. You needed a few more on Dusty, but in the end, solid run, and what a way to win your first race here.
Oh man, that was a joyride of a lifetime. I got really scared when I got beside Tim Newell there, but he slowed up me as much as he did the L-Slinger there, and I was able to stick it underneath him and just go with it.
I see your dad coming in, an emotional win, family as well. And Mark from Jibs, one of your longtime supporters, great that they could all be here with you tonight.
Oh yeah, I got to thank everyone, like my dad every week working on the cars, mom letting me do this, brother and Blaine always supporting me, Mark Zuba always supporting me every week with Jibs, Leggett's up in Burlington, Let's Landscape, and Mark Butler as well.
Congrats, there you have it. Tristan Da Silva picks up his first career feature win, guys. We'll get ready with second and third.
Let me tell you something about the Da Silva racing family. Tristan races on the dirt. Kyle races on the asphalt over at Flamborough Speedway. They raced go-karts, and Greg, I can't tell you how many times the Da Silvas helped us out racing. They're always the first ones to step in when someone needs a hand. Great to see them have this celebration tonight as Clinton Jeffrey is joined by a runner-up finisher, heartbreaking final lap for Jeff Elslinger.
Jeff, a solid run here today. Still something you can be pleased at to go into the offseason and our final race next week. Solid run for you. You almost had one there.
Yeah, it was close. I don't know what happened to Tim, but man, I almost had it. But yeah, second's good for me. I mean, with the level of difficulty I've had all year, this is fantastic.
Solid run, Jeff. We'll talk over here to Cole Hardy. Now, Cole, you decided to make Ohsweken your home after watching our banquet live stream last year and said, I want to be a part of the Ohsweken family. It's been great to have you here. You haven't had the luck you wanted to, but a solid finish here in this Kelly-owned machine.
You know what? I've been coming here and watching, and last year we did the Art Hill, and that was great, so we decided to make it our home, and we battled all year. We had the nosedive incident on the first night. yeah, we just battled all year, and Tony was happy enough to let us borrow the car for the final points night, and I guess it paid off. That last lap was really crazy, and I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but we just stuck it in there and made it on the podium.
Good job, Cody. How about it? Your top three tonight, Tristan Da Silva, Jeff Eslinger, and Cole Hardy. Get it done. We'll bring you the champion coming up shortly, guys.
Yeah, when we get back here on Old North Racing, powered by Pinty's, we'll talk with the HRW Automotive Mini Stock Champion, Dusty DeBoer. Back at Ohsweken Speedway, ready to talk to our champion in the HRW Automotive Mini Stock Division. This guy is no stranger to being a champion back when we had the Bomber Division. He was the champ there from 2013 to 2015, but his first ever Mini Stock Championship comes here tonight, and it wasn't by many points at all. Clinton Jeffrey will talk with him down in Mr. Transmission, Victory Lane.
Well, here's, ladies and gentlemen, your HRW Automotive Mini Stock champion this year, Dusty DeBoer. Dusty, congrats, man. You've had a great season. You got to be real pleased to be in this one at the end. Solid drive.
Yeah, the start of the year, the first MAV TV night, my car broke, and I didn't get to go out for the feature, and I was in a big hole, and the car was, I don't know, it works good in most conditions this year. We just made it a little better with the setup, and it just kept chipping away, and Kyle would reel off a couple of wins. He'd get ahead, and then I'd gain a bit chunks back when he'd have problems. And tonight, when I was just watching him ahead of me the first few laps, and then he had his tire go down, and he got back out. I saw him running ahead of the leaders, so I thought, okay, I can just take it easy here. And then we had that caution with 5 to go, and I didn't know if he was lapped or not, but all of a sudden, guys started just coming at me both sides, and it's like, oh, I'm just trying to baby it, and these guys are just going intense around me. And then Tim had a problem at the end, and that was disappointing. But then going around him, all of a sudden Kyle's passed me on the inside. I don't know if it was for position or not, but that psyched me out real bad. And it was I had enough run to beat him to the line anyways. But congratulations to Tristan on winning. He's been so close for a few times now, so that's good for him. And if Kyle was lapped, then he'll be second in points, so that's good for him. This is awesome. I didn't think I'd be here, but yeah. This is, I don't know, it doesn't get better than this.
There you have it, Dusty DeBoer, ladies and gentlemen, your 2019 HRW Automotive Champion.
Adam, we have to talk about Kyle Wirt and congratulate him on a very solid year, most wins in the division, and just the wheels fell off literally at the end of the season.
You know, and that's the amazing thing about racing, Greg. That's why people come week in, week out. And I think I've told this story before, getting to listen to the late, great Robert Yates at a driver's meeting not too many years ago. But he said, as long as racing stays unpredictable, it'll still remain as popular as it needs to be healthy and successful. And that's what we see week in and week out. Who could possibly predict the things that could happen here? That's why the fans come out and pay the money to see the show. What a night. And yeah, Kyle Wirt, great season. Full handful of feature wins this year, and not quite enough to take home the championship. It only took one feature win to win a title. Is that what Dusty had this year, was one feature win, or do you have more?
One feature win this year. And 5 for Kyle Wirt. It was a division of evenly spread wins as well.
If I hadn't questioned myself right after I said that, I would have sounded really intelligent and informed, wouldn't I?
Just go with it.
I ruined it.
Just go with it.
I shouldn't let facts get in the way of telling a good story, and I did.
2 features still to go, and it's hard to think. can it get any better than what we've already seen in the first two features of the night? We've got the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising Sprint Cars next, followed by the Thunderstocks.
Here's the question I pose as we're just about to take a commercial break. When we come back, it'll be the 360 Sprints. Hannah Farrell won her heat. Holly Porter won her heat. Hannah Farrell won her feature. Does Holly Porter come out here and win her first 360 feature event? We're going to find out right after this on MAV TV Canada.
All North Racing, powered by Pinty's at Ohsweken Speedway. My name is Greg Kellman. With me is Adam Ross. Down trackside, Clinton Jeffrey. Two features remain. Up next, the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising Sprint Cars. Their feature lineup will go like this. Starting from the pole at a Sunnyvale, Texas, driver car number 15H. That'll be Sam Hafer-Teep Jr., a former winner of the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals. Rolling off second out of Tilsonburg in car number 13, that'll be Corey Turner. Back in row number 2 on the inside line, the point leader coming into tonight from Scotland, Ontario, D-Dubs, Dylan Westbrook in the 47X, and to his outside, the one of Holly Porter from Dorchester. Row number 3 on the inside, the 0, that's the Red Rocket, Jim Hoopinen, and Jake Brown in the Little Bend 110 starts 6th. Going from 7th, Holly Porter, heat race winner here tonight, goes from 7th, and going from 8th, out of Tilsonburg, car number 13, that will be Corey Turner. And my lineups are not the same as what is on the screen again. So we got Hafer-Teep, Turner, row number 1 will be Westbrook, Porter, row 2, Hoopinen, Brown back on row number 3. Then in row number 4, Scott Kruder and Mac DeMann, who won his heat race. He'll start from the 8th spot. Going from 9th, Mitch Brown out of Brantford. And to his outside, starting 10th, that'll be Steve Lyons, car number 9 out of Carlisle. Going from 11th from Beamsville, the 88H, Josh Hansen. And going from 12th, Tom Hoopinen out of Fenwick in the 27H. 13th starting spot, that's Dan Anico from Ohsweken in the 15 machine. And back at the 14th starting spot, Shane Ross from Thetford in the 5D. 15th will be Aaron Turkey from Ohsweken in the 68. 16th, Sean Evans out of Scotland in the 87X. Jamie Turner from Caister Center in the 11 will start 17th. To his outside, the Six Nations sensation Alex Hill. She'll go from the 18th spot. 19th, Scott Burke from Charing Cross in the 9B, alongside John Burbridge Jr. in the 21. He's from St. Williams. 21st starting spot, Caleb Wood from London in car number 7. Kevin Pauls out of Caister Center in the 46. He will go 22nd. 23rd, Curtis Gartley from Thamesford. And Ryan Turner starts 24th from Caister Center in the 91. Ladies and gentlemen, they're 4 wide and fancy for you, the fans. This is the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising Sprint Car A Main. Next weekend, over 60 sprint cars will be on hand for the 15th annual Canadian Sprint Car Nationals. $10,000 to the winner. Our crown jewel event, OhswekenSpeedway.com for advance reserve tickets. Top 5 rows are for sale. The rest general admission. It's going to be a barn burner as always. White flag goes on the field next time by. We're going green flag racing for the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising Sprint Cars. 2x2, 12 rows of beautifully prepared sprint cars ready to come to life. Sam Haferteep Jr., Corey Turner on the front row. The Strickland GMC Pace truck ready to pull off on the backstretch. Kyle McKenzie with double greens in hand. Ladies and gentlemen, you came looking for a show. Well, here you go. Let's end all the anticipation as we bring to you our feature presentation. Sam Haferteep brings them straight to the chalk line, creates the suspense and sends them into corner 1. Will lead them off of 2.
Dylan Westbrook with a good start, getting up to that second position. We watch for Mac DeMann on the high side, trying to work his way into the top 5 here on this first lap.
Haferteep down into corner number 1 with D-Dubs right behind him. Corey Turner had problems in the hot laps, but that car was good in the heats. Here he is, duking it out with Dylan Westbrook. He's mathematically in the fight.
Yeah, mathematically he is. It's a tall order if he's going to win this title, especially with Dylan Westbrook running as well as he is. How often do you see Westbrook working the bottom of the racetrack? But that's what he's chosen to do here in the early stages of the sprint car feature event.
Sam Haferteep gets across the stripe, leading lap number 3 with Dylan Westbrook and Corey Turner having a good old duke him out. 4th spot. Jim Hoopin riding back behind them in 4th. Scott Kruder in 5th. And Mac DeMann, who's trying to catch D-Dubs in the points, he's back there in 6th.
I do like that Dylan Westbrook has gone a little bit outside of his box to find a fast line. Now he'll head up to the outside of the racetrack and try to close in on Sam Haferteep. Back to the bottom in 3 and 4.
Now remember, Adam, earlier on in the night, problems down the infield as Steve Lyons will pull his car number 9 into the pit, into the infield. Now troubles for Josh Hansen as he gets off track. But remember, earlier on in the night, Mac DeMann was dominant as we have one in the wall in corner number 2. That is Jake Brown that slaps the hay bales and puts us under the caution on lap number 6. So Jake Brown, the Little Bend 110, puts us under the caution flag. With 5 laps complete, make that in the Hills Tire and Gas number 110.
I did not see how that develops, but Jake Brown up there with the front end.
I believe he just got up over the banking, and no replay we're being told, but I believe he just got up over the banking there in the corner and got up into the hay bales. Now, Adam, right before that happened, I was talking about Mac DeMann, who in his qualifying heat was very strong, very solid, dominated, got the heat race win, and he beat out Sam Haferteep and Dylan Westbrook. But in the redraw for the feature, he drew 8th, and he's already had some work to do. He's up to the 6th spot, but he needs to get up past that 47X to win the title. He's got some heavy hitters right in front to do that.
The challenge here for Mac DeMann is this is not really a Mac DeMann type racetrack. Where Mac DeMann shines is on a track that takes a lot of nerve to be fast. What I think it takes tonight to be fast is a lot of finesse behind the wheel. I'm not saying Mac doesn't have finesse, but on a track where you really got to be gutty, some intestinal fortitude, that's where he really shines. Clinton Jeffrey is on the scene, and what do you got up there, Clint?
Well, you can see the tie rod has snapped up here. The torsion stops are a mess here for Jake Brown. And that right front should not be turned over, Adam. But the problem they've got here is the axle is still all in good condition, but the radius rods, and what I mean by that, and I'm just trying to stay away as the tow truck picks it up. This bar right here should be straight, coming straight down to the front axle. It is pushed and wedged all the way up here underneath his front wing, as you can see. So the bars are broken here on the Brown machine. Here's the other one busted. So they're going to have to work on both those right side torsion, or radius rods, I should say, and the torsion stops out of place too. They have asked for the 2 minutes. I don't think they're going to be able to get it done in 2 minutes, but we'll give them their time anyways.
You know, Haley Isabel Thompson just sent me a note, and she makes a great point. Got to give Jordan Hill, Glenn Stiers a big round of applause. Even Haley had her hand in working this racetrack over the last 6 days. They did a great job, Greg. This is in prime shape next weekend with 60 sprint cars in attendance. This is what you want. Smooth and wide. Doesn't matter if it's tacky, doesn't matter if it's slick. You want it to be smooth and wide when you have big events like Championship Night and, of course, Canadian Sprint Car Nationals next weekend.
And that was kind of going to be my counterpoint to your thought on Mac Demand. Yes, he is good when that track surface takes a little bit extra nerve to get around. But Mac is also excellent when that extreme top line is available, and it's been there all night long. So although it's not exactly a Mac Demand track, he still does like it up top. He's good up there, and he can make it work. That's what he did in the qualifying heat. So I don't think he's totally out of it just yet. But
by no stretch.
But to get by Scott Kruder, Jim Hoopinen, Corey Turner, and then Dylan Westbrook, that's going to take some work, and it's going to be exciting to watch here in the next 15 laps.
Well, guys, I got Steve Lyons here in the infield. Steve, you look so good in your qualifying heat. What took the 9 out of this feature?
Something's up with the motor. It just it just lost power coming down the front straight, and it shuddered a little bit, so I shut her down and came in. So we're not sure what's up, but something happened with the motor.
All right, there you have it from Steve Lyons, who was last year's fastest Canadian, I believe, at the Nationals, or at least one of the recent years, ran really good in time trials in that gorgeous Nitro 54 number 9. But Steve Lyons out of this one, guys.
And of course, Steve Lyons, also the owner of Creative Edge Signs and Graphics. He has designed a number of the race cars here at the racetrack and put the vinyl on them as we are into the 2-minute work period for Jake Brown. I'm trying to look around on that warm-up track way in the back. Don't see any activity I see back there right now is just Thunderstocks getting ready for their feature event.
Yeah, guys, there was so much damage on there, it would be very difficult for them to get it back together in the allotted time. Not impossible, but difficult for them to get it done. They needed a whole bunch of nuts and bolts taken on and off that car quickly to get them back out here. But the Brown crew has the talent. Do they got the help back there? That's the question.
You know, and that's the big thing. You need a lot of capable hands. We're going to take a quick break here on MAV TV Canada. You're watching All North Racing, powered by Pinty's.
Back at Ohsweken Speedway as the 360 Sprint Car A-Main continues on with 6 laps up on the scoreboard. Sam Haferteep leads as they continue to duke it out behind him. It's Dylan Westbrook back to second, but Corey Turner digging back on the inside line, and Mac Demands making a charge. He picked off Kruder.
He just threw a big Hail Mary into turn 3, managed to make it stick, so Mac Demand's working every groove he can on the racetrack. He's within 2 positions at Dylan Westbrook.
Here he comes around Jim Hoopin, and he can see Dylan Westbrook. And for Mac Demand, all he needs to do is finish 1 spot ahead of D-Dubs to at least tie him. Now, once you get into the top 3, the points separate a little bit, but interesting stuff going on right now between the top 2.
And Corey Turner giving Dylan Westbrook all he can handle. Now Westbrook makes the pass. Turner back to 3rd. I was watching, I don't know what the hell I was watching. I was mistaken there.
Here comes the battle for the 3rd spot and the possible point lead as Mac Demand working the high side, trying to get by Dylan Westbrook. Turner gets by him the lap before. Now Mac Demand trying to reel him in.
Westbrook down to the bottom, trying to gain ground on Turner as Mac Demand goes off the edge of the racetrack. Manages to keep the same position, but loses some valuable ground to Westbrook.
Out in front, Sam Haferteep is straight away ahead of Corey Turner. Dylan Westbrook back there in the 3rd spot. Mac Demand charging, driving so hard behind him. He can see the point leader right in front.
I think if Westbrook could clear Corey Turner, he could probably drive away a little bit, but he's just not able to win that battle. That allows Mac Demand to stay right on his heels.
Corey Turner having a whale of a run here tonight, probably wishing Sam Haferteep hadn't made the visit here this evening, because that 13 machine has a win this year, but hasn't looked this strong in a long time.
No, we got one in trouble up in 3 and 4 right in front of the leader. That was Alex Hill. She manages to keep it on the racetrack, but now things have settled down there in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Corey Turner is there. D-Dub's about 4 car lengths back, another 3 back to Mac Demand as they're working some lap traffic. Demand draws a little bit closer that time with 5 laps left to go.
Mac Demand just can't get the power down. He's driving into the turns better, but Dylan Westbrook is getting through the middle better than the 17X.
The leader works off at corner 4. Sam Haferteep Jr. leads with 4 laps left to go. Straight away back to Corey Turner, then 2 car lengths back to Dylan Westbrook, and Mac Demand another 4 back behind him.
Westbrook closing in once again on Corey Turner, which may or may not be a good thing for him, because if he varies his line, he could be in trouble. Westbrook off the racetrack. Here comes Demand.
Wow, that was lucky for Dylan Westbrook that Mac Demand didn't get by. They both had problems in the corner. So they work it through corner number 2. This time by, it's going to be 2 laps left to go for Sam Haferteep Jr.
Haferteep out in front all by himself, but all eyes are on the 47X of Dylan Westbrook, the 17X of Mac Demand.
Here they go through to corners 1 and 2. Corey Turner still holding down 2nd. Dylan Westbrook in that 3rd spot. White flag coming out for the leader at the line now. 2nd place coming off of corner 4. 1 going up high. That was Mac Demand. He loses a lot of ground that time to Dylan Westbrook.
Mac Demand just threw an absolute bomb into turn 3. Couldn't quite hang on to the cushion there. Checkered flag for Sam Haferteep.
Coming across the line in 2nd, Corey Turner. 3rd, your champion, Dylan Westbrook. 4th with a valiant effort, Mac Demand. And 5th will be Jim Hoopinen.
You cannot try harder than Mac Demand just did in that 17X. He put that car everywhere on the racetrack. Dylan Westbrook did everything he had to do to win the title. They pull up alongside. I'm sure it is thumbs up all around. Dylan Westbrook, 3-peats for the title, becomes the first driver to do so since track owner and Wall of Famer Glenn Stiers.
Dylan Westbrook has had a history-making year. Of course, that stat you just mentioned, Adam, first 3-time 3-peat in the championship since Glenn Stiers did it. He also surpassed Glenn in most career 360 feature wins here at Ohsweken Speedway. So it's been a phenomenal year as Lone Wolf Fireworks lights up the sky for Sam Haferteep Jr. in the Hills Racing Town Line Variety, number 15H, the driver of Sunnyvale, Texas. Definitely will be a threat next week in the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals.
Clinton Jeffrey is down there in victory lane as Sam Haferteep makes the trip up from Texas well worthwhile on this Friday night here at the Big O. Crews and fans and family members making their way across the racetrack as Clinton Jeffrey awaits Sam Haferteep in Mr. Transmission victory lane.
Let's go. Come on, Sam, we're on live TV, buddy. Well, Dylan Westbrook's out of the car, ladies and gentlemen. He'll be your 2019 champion. Here comes Sam Haferteep out of the car as well as he gets ready for next week. How about it for your feature winner, Sam Haferteep Jr.? Thunderstock feature still to come to figure things out here. Sam, come on around here. We'll get a quick word with you. You can pick that up. That's yours. Miles Hill's in here, car owner, to give him a handshake. Sam, welcome back to Canada. Good way to cross the border and get it done.
Yeah, you never know how good you are. These guys race here every week, and you know, we felt pretty good for stages. Like I say, we still got a lot to work on. Still got a lot to get better on. But you hats off to Bobby. I only got one guy this weekend, so he's been having to put a lot of weight on his shoulders, and it's just good that we got out of here with a win. And I told Miles if we won tonight, that'd be our casino money this week.
So I guess you're off to the casino then.
Well, maybe not now, but maybe this week sometime. Me and Miles, we both like going to the casino quite a bit, and Pam, she always likes to go along too. So it'll be a good time for sure. But really just getting pumped up for next week. Canadian Nationals. It's been 2011 since I won, and I felt like we probably should have won it 2 other times since then, and just messed up on my end. And this year, I feel like we really got a really good car, and we make some minor changes after tonight. We'll be right where we need to be come Canadian Nationals time.
Solid drive for Sam Haverteep Jr. tonight. Picks it up from Sunnyvale, Texas, all the way down here to pick up the win. We'll send it back to you guys. We get assembled with 2nd and 3rd.
Well, he's the 2011 winner of the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals, and he looks to get his 2nd big trophy next Saturday night. A little test and tune for him this evening, and he said they still have a long ways to go, Adam. Boy, you look good tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what, he did, but so did Corey Turner. And I'm going to tell you, we've watched Corey Turner win races here. I don't know if we've ever seen him run a better race than he did right there. And he's with Clinton Jeffrey right now.
Thanks, guys. Corey, Adam giving you praise, saying he didn't think he's seen you run a better race than you did tonight. Can you be happy with that?
Oh, we're definitely satisfied. Sam's a professional, and he just showed us exactly why there. He's the ASAS national points leader, and to run second to him pretty much like a win. I got to say hi to my grandparents and all the people back in Caster Center watching us on MAV. Big thanks to Jay and Celeste and their family, and Gord and Nate and all the guys that are Jeff and Brady and my brother and everybody that's responsible for this. This is the first night out on this car, and this Maxim was just bad fast. So we got our new scheme, Petro Plus gas station right beside the Burger Barn, so make sure you stop in, check it out. Real fair prices, and obviously see the Burger Barn as well.
Good job, Corey, hitting it at marks. Dylan Westbrook, come on over here. 3-time champion, the winningest driver in the 360 division here at Ohsweken. How about it for your hometown champ, D-Dubs? Dylan, we watched you grow up here through the Steyrs Racing crew. Now you're with the Hills Racing team. You had to battle your teammate Mac throughout the whole season. He was on that tail tank that whole race. Talk about your finish to your season and your last regular season feature that helped you pick up the championship tonight.
Well, all season we've been really good. Had a couple little problems throughout it, but made our way through that. Now we were doing really good in that race. We had a good setup. It was just really hard to. There's a lot of moves I would have normally made in a regular race, but I just knew I had to make sure I didn't do anything dumb, mess up, and seen Mac get pretty close to me there, so I had to get back on it. But really great season.
All right, I'm getting out of here because you're about to get a shower. Dylan Westbrook, your champion. And I wouldn't let them spray it while we were here. Up to you guys as we get set to go. I believe we'll take a quick break and come back here with the Thunderstocks live from Mr. Transmission Victory Lane on All North Racing, powered by Pinty's, here on MAV TV Canada. Thanks a lot, Tony, for everything you do. Big supporters, Pinty's, ladies and gentlemen, doing major things here for us at Ohsweken Speedway. Thank you so much, Tony, and we'll get out of the way here in Victory Lane, guys. One feature to go.
While we've got a chance, we got to wish a happy birthday to Kedrick Miller. He is 6 years old today. Thanks for coming to the racetrack to join us. Hey, wow, I even got a message from Tony Spiteri from Pinty's. He doesn't like my pumpkin shirt. They're going to give me some Pinty's swag, Greg.
I should have worn a pumpkin spice shirt.
It may be a trick. The first time I did a video for them, we did some social media stuff, and they wedged this fat guy into like a standard adult large, and I look like an overstuffed sausage. And I don't think that's part of Pinty's food offering, but that's how it appeared.
When you mentioned that, the first thing I thought of was Stroker Ace and you in a chicken outfit.
Are we allowed to talk about Clyde Torkel, or is that void our contract? How do I remember Clyde Torkel? I can't remember what I had for lunch, but I can remember the Stroker Ace drove for the Clyde Torkel chicken pit. That's my mindset.
All do.
We were at Jukasa Motor Speedway last week, and I was talking to Patrick LaPearl after the race, and someone drove by in a motorhome that was circa 1975. He says, that looks just like Brewster Baker's. And I said, yeah, well, Brewster Baker races at our track. You need to come out to Ohsweken. And sure enough, we're about to see him celebrate his 5th straight championship. Unbelievable. He will be in this starting lineup, but let's introduce you to everybody else who is also in the starting lineup for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks. Starting on the pole out of Brantford, the 13 is Casey Huffman outside row number 1. No. And that is not right at all. We can tell you who they tell us is going to be on the pole, but we're going to wait until they roll, and I'll give you the starting lineup as they come on by. I do want to tell you a bit of a story, though. Car number 1 is out of Brantford. Chris Dickey making his final career start at Ohsweken Speedway. He is hanging up the helmet. Here's the starting lineup. Chris Dickey going to start on the pole, and that number 1 outside of him, it's Mark Bazine in the 21X. Row 2 on the inside, Go Fast People in the number 11. Alongside him, it's Adam Plazik in the 41. Row 3 on the inside, Blake Bomberry is in the 24. The 6F is Jeff Rulifs. 6R, rather, is Jeff Rulifs. The 38 is Frank Turkey. Alongside him in the Burger Barn 55, it's Ricky Bobby Mike Thorne. The 84 is Ryan Beagle. To his outside is the 28D of Donnie Lampman. 23 is Trevor DeBoer. The 79 is Chris Hale. The 53 is Logan Schwedick. The 8 is Ryan Dinning. The 49, once he takes the green flag, he is our track champion, Brewster Baker, Dave Bailey in the 49. Alongside him in the 25 is Kenny Sargent. Kyle Andrews drives the number 43. Alongside him is the number 29 of Robbie General. The 32 is Mark Fawcett. The 40 is Jay Liverance. The 40 is Derek Liverance. Jim Lampman drives the 28. The 37 is Rob Hoskins. The 327 is Trevor Jones. Gord Grant in the 5G. The 07 is Brian Pachetti. And the 13 is Casey Huffman. Double green flags, and we are underway.
Quite a battle going on mid-pack right now. You've got them stacked 4 deep in locations as they head down into corner 3, trying to sort everyone out. So far, clean and green here, coming to complete lap number 1. Mark Bazine, the leader, over Chris Dickey and Go Fast Steeple.
Bazine out in front in that Burger Barn 21. Then is the Strickland's GMC number 1 of Chris Dickey in second, getting a nice run up off of turn number 2. He's running with a borrowed motor from Mike Thorne, one of the spare motors from the Thorne team. It seems to be doing all right for him at the moment.
2 laps on the board in this 20-lap feature event for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks. One goes into the infield.
That was a chain reaction wreck, and Derek Liverance was on the wrong end of the chain.
Clear on the inside of the infield here is Liverance, so we stay green with 3 laps on the board. Mark Bazine out in front over Ryan Dinning. Go Fast People. Jeff Rulif's up there in the 4th position, and then they're stacked 3 deep for position number 5 with Chris Dickey on the bottom, Ryan Beagle in the middle, and Adam Plazik outside.
Adam Plazik has a bit of a bobble there in turn 3. I think he had to take evasive action to avoid making contact with Ryan Beagle. As we got a battle for the lead, Ryan Dinning noses out ahead of Mark Bazine.
Ryan Dinning, that Club 54 Camaro has been solid here in 2019. Hasn't come up with the amount of wins he would like here this year, but I would say that Ryan Dinning's got to be happy that he's back in the right direction considering where he was a year ago.
Yeah, he's looking at a strong finish out here, that's for sure. And look at this battle for third. Go Fast Teeple. He has really struggled in the late stages of this season. Jeff Rulif's in the 6 and Ryan Beagle up on the high side in that 84.
Point champion right now riding inside the top 10, Dave Bailey.
Trouble in 4. Rob Hoskins is nosed up to the outside wall. I'm not sure what went wrong on that 37 machine. So I want to share some of what Chris Dickey said with us about his career at Ohsweken Speedway and how things got started. But as I mentioned, it's his last night in the driver's seat, and he's switching hats from driver to a nervous crew chief and team owner. His oldest son is going to be racing next year. He's bought himself a street rod so he can still drive fast and make plenty of noise. But he wanted to take the opportunity to thank the people that have helped him with his racing addiction. And I didn't know this, but Jeff and Dallas Biederman talked him into leaving asphalt racing to come dirt racing. Of course, Dallas Biederman was a top-notch competitor here about 15 years ago. And he likes to call it the best racing decision he ever made. He says it's been fun from start to finish. Wants to thank the officials, the announcers, everybody here at Ohsweken. Loves that he's been here as part of the growth, because when he started the Thunderstock division, wasn't really a jam-packed class. They had about 10 cars, and he's seen it grow some nights up to 40 cars. So he just wants everyone to know how thankful he is to his fellow racers. Even makes some comments about Mikey Thorne and how he'll always be the chubby kid who wears his shirt in the pool in Cuba. So Mikey Thorne is a full-grown adult now, but he said, make sure you mention the part about chubby Mike Thorne in the pool. I won't go into the rest, but Chris Dickey is one of the characters. He's a fun guy to be around, and we wish him all the best.
Yeah, when I read that, I had no idea it was the Biedermans that got him hooked on Ohsweken Speedway. Sad to hear that he won't be competing, but still be around. That's the main thing.
We should give him a hard time and say, look, Jim Lampman has like 7 cars here, and his son drives one of them, so Chris just needs to grow his fleet a little bit. Ryan Dinning in the 8 machine, Mark Bazine in the 21. They're going to lead the way back to the green flag. 6 laps are complete. 20 laps is the distance.
Ryan Dinning back to the fun pedal, leads him down into corner number 1 with Mark Bazine in tow, and then they're stacked up behind him. Jeff Roloff's working that outside line. That 6R is working well tonight.
Yeah, really impressive drive by Jeff Roloff. He's hanging in there, really moving forward here as he works the outside of Bazine. Off at turn number 4 as they'll touch on the front stretch.
Jeff, one of those drivers from down in the Chatham, Ontario region, and it was announced this week that Southern Ontario Motor Speedway will be closed for the remainder of the year after their fire that took place down there a couple of weeks. So bad news down there for all those fans. We're thinking about those fans and competitors that don't have a home track to race on the rest of the year, but good to see some of their regulars coming up and joining us here tonight and last week as well.
A devastating fire as Ryan Beagle's driving it deep into the corners, but Jeff Roloff's still with that preferred outside groove, able to make the run on the high side and stay ahead of the 84. Behind them, it's really bottling things up as now Beagle will clear the 6R, and so will the 25 of Ken Sargent.
If Ryan Dinning had a rear view mirror, he would love what he's seeing right now, because it's a lot of beating and banging, some good hard racing behind him, and he's been able to stretch the lead out here coming to the cross flags. Dinning in the Club 54 Camaro leads the way over his teammate Ken Sargent.
Halfway through, 10 laps down, 10 laps to go in this Thunderstock feature event, and here comes Dave Bailey making the move on Ryan Beagle for 3rd.
So Dinning works it off of corner 4, completing lap number 11. Then it's Sargent and Bailey, 2nd and 3rd. Ryan Beagle riding back and forth. 5th right now is that number 23 machine of Trevor DeBoer, second place in points coming into tonight. Jeff Roloff's in the 6th, back to the 6th spot. Logan Schwedek running in 7th. 8th, Mark Bazine, who led for a time here tonight. 9th, his teammate Mike Thorne. And 10th, Go Fast Teeple. 11th right now, Adam Plazik. 12th is Mark Fawcett. Looks like 13th is Christopher Hale. Frank Turkey right behind him in 14th. 15th, Chris Dickey. 16th is Blake Bomberry. And back in the 17th spot. Who's it tonight? Oh, it's Brian Pachetti. That's right. Haven't seen him in a long time here, but behind the wheel of the 07 here tonight. 18th is Kathleen Lampman, or nope, that's Donnie Lampman.
Robbie General, maybe.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I had to look twice on the starting grid. Who's driving that 29 this time? Dinning is under attack from Dave Bailey in the 49. It's a 3-car battle at the front of the field with just over 5 laps to go.
Yeah, and that time that I did the field rundown, Dave Bailey worked his way up there to compete with Ryan Dinning, and Ryan had a sizable lead going on, and now he's got to look and say, it's him again.
He raced him very politely last week, his battle with Dave Bailey for that win. He's running in on the bottom of the racetrack, and I think if Dinning can get those left side tires down in the moisture at the bottom, he can get a good run here as laps wind down in this one.
Dave's got the championship locked up. So tonight, does Ryan rethink it if he has the chance?
Turn him. Come on, Dinning, you got a front bumper for a reason.
Bailey leads down the backstretch over Dinning, Sargent, DeBoer, and Ryan Beagle. The top 6 have broken away. Logan Schwedek's in that mix as well.
I really like this line Dinning's running. He slowed down a little bit to go even faster when he can get those left side tires down in the moisture. The clay is a lot tackier where it hasn't been dried out from all this racing. It'll be 2 laps to go this time for Dave Bailey.
Got to give a mention out to Mike Thorne, who's done a nice job to come up. Oh, that was close for the race leaders. His lap car. Trevor Jones pulls into the infield. But Mike Thorne started deep in this one. He's running up in the 8th spot. This has been a year he'd like to forget, I think. But having a good solid outing in that number 55 Burger Barn machine.
One slower car for these leaders to overtake. White flag is out, 1 more lap to go. And with the line Robbie General's running, that may not do any favors for Ryan Dinning.
You know, that bottled things up, and that allows Ken Sargent now to drop even to Ryan Dinning as they go into 3. Your champion sails through 3 and 4, and he's going to cap it off with 1 more win. Dave Bailey goes to Mr. Transmission Victory Lane, and Ken Sargent gets by Ryan Dinning at the line. Put Dinning back to 3rd. It'll be Trevor DeBoer and Ryan Beagle, your top 5. Logan Schwedek, 6th. 7th, Jeff Roloff's. 8th will be Mike Thorne. 9th, I believe, will be Mark Bazine, and Mark Fawcett, I believe, will be rounding out the top 10. In the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstock Division, Dave Bailey, he is so smooth, so good. He caps off a championship with a win here tonight.
And how about all of our drivers in all of our divisions? We had full fields in every class. It is 10:35 in the PM, Greg, and we have concluded the program. We've got a Victory Lane celebration yet to go as Lone Wolf fireworks lighting up the sky. But great job by all of our drivers tonight in putting on a phenomenal show. Clinton Jeffries in Victory Lane, Mr. Transmission Victory Lane, to chat with our winners.
Well, Dave Bailey will work to get his gear off here, and we'll get in to have a word with him as Tony Spiteri from Pinty's comes in to shake his hand as the 2019 and multi-time champion here of the Thunderstocks in the Middleport Mechanical Division. Works on getting off, and we'll get him out here quickly to have a word with us as Ken Sargent comes over and gives the champion some congratulations. He drives that Jibs Queenston Chevrolet's machine. Here he comes out. How about a big Ohsweken Speedway Mr. Transmission Victory Lane welcome for Dave Bailey. Solid run here, Dave. They're looking under the back of your car. We're smelling some nasty stuff. Is that coming out of your car?
That's probably Ryan's. We get a look at that stuff every week, changing racetracks, so we I don't know. Hopefully it's not me.
Solid run, though, Dave. I mean, this year's been picture perfect, and it seems like your car's been faster than ever these past few 4 weeks or so. Started the back last week, got wrecked, drove back up to the win. Today had to start deep in the field, drove back up to the win. What's the secret?
We had issues at Maryville, I don't know, July 1st or something, and it kind of wasn't the same. And Trevor was in the garage looking at the car a couple weeks back, and he noticed that something was missing. And ever since we figured that out, it's been a rocket ship. So thanks to him for having a good eye.
You picked up some new sponsors this year. What does it mean to take them to the championship?
Oh, that's awesome for these guys. I really got to thank Queenston Chev, Transaxle, Transport Sales and Service, and especially Mark at Jibs Action Sports. And thanks to Mav TV for putting this deal on tonight. It's awesome. And Tony with Pinty's, thanks. It's awesome that we get to do this on live TV.
There you have it, your champion. Dave Bailey gets it done. We'll get a word with teammates who finished second and third tonight, guys.
7th win of the season for Dave Bailey. 5th championship in a row. Not much more you can say about that, Adam.
He's not crazy about doing interviews, Greg, but he's so good at telling a story. He's always got something to talk about that's interesting. Clinton Jeffrey down there with a couple of teammates. We want to know why Ryan Denning didn't put the bumper to Dave Bailey, since he knew he'd already won the championship. But you're going to talk to Kenny Sargent first.
Ryan's laughing down here. You got a second to think about your answer about that, Ryan. First off, guys, let's send out a shout out to Coop, who's watching at home, and he's got to be real proud of his team here tonight. You guys finishing second and third. Great run, Kenny. What's your thoughts?
You know what? First and foremost, it is all about Coop. All our thoughts are with him. You know, he's having some health issues, and as a team effort, and I'm just glad that Ryan and I can put both the Club 54 cars on the podium. And you know what? It's been a great season. I love the track. I love the fans. I love everybody here. Thanks for coming out, and we'll see you next week for the end of the year.
All right, there you have from Ken Sargent. His teammate Ryan, first obvious question Adam wants to know, why would you not put the bumper to him? He's already champion. If you're going to do it, this was your free pass, Denning.
I don't know. He used it pretty good when he got around me, but one of these days I think I'm going to have to again to win one of these things. I don't know what else to do.
Solid drive, though, Ryan. You got to be pleased.
Oh, yeah, I'm pleased. Too bad the lap car got in there and gave second away to Kenny, but it's good that we're both up here on the pad, so a good night all the way around.
You really had your game together, too. Ryan Denning. How about for our top three tonight? Dave Bailey wins the feature in the championship. Ken Sargent second. Ryan Denning third for the Club 54 team. That's it, guys. Don't forget, Canadian Sprint Car National next Saturday live here on MAV TV Canada, powered by Pinty's and presented by Mr. Transmission. Are you ready for this, guys? It's going to be amazing. 7 p.m. next Saturday for the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals. That's it for Mr. Transmission Victory Lane. Great night here at Ohsweken, guys.
We celebrate the champions here at Ohsweken Speedway. Dylan Westbrook in the 360 sprints. Nick Sheridan in the crate sprint division. Dave Bailey here in the Thunderstock division. And in the mini stocks, Dusty DeBoer. Dave Bailey, Greg, think about this. Fifth straight championship. Nick Sheridan was in grade 4 when Bailey's championship streak started.
Amazing night, amazing stories at Ohsweken Speedway here on All North Racing, powered by Pinty's. Thanks for watching.